Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I just got done watching The War with Grandpa. This is a 2020 film, and I went into this movie fully expecting to crap on it, fully expecting to say, wow, one of the worst movies of the year, possibly one of the worst movies of all time. I fully expected to hate this crap. When you see the poster, when you see that it's Robert De Niro in yet another grandpa-like movie, didn't he already do this with Zac Efron, or whatever the hell that was, which was awful? Not again! De Niro, no! Stop tarnishing your legacy more than you already have. For some reason, he still has this prestige to his name after doing so much shit. But honestly, I did not hate this movie. And I'm shocked. I'm almost ashamed to say that because I feel like I should be hating it. I didn't love it or anything like that either, but it was a lot more tolerable and bearable than it could have been. This is a film that came out in 2020. It's directed by Tim Hill, and the plot is De Niro, he's getting at the old age where it's harder for him to do things on his own, even though I see him at the store checkout, and it's not really his fault that the machine wasn't really working. Of course, they think and they assume that he was trying to steal, or that maybe he just is not able to use the machine all that well, and so they don't want him to drive, they don't want him to live on his own. He has to move back in with his daughter and her family and her kids, and so he ends up taking the room of the son, the grandson. And the grandson is so pissed about this that he says, no, F this, I'm not going to let Grandpa come in and take my room, even though I have this nice, sweet attic that's all to me, and I have all this private space now. What? So he declares war on his grandfather. And the whole movie, they go back and forth on going after each other, trying to kill each other in some senses. This film, I don't know what it was. You know, there were things about this movie that annoyed me. There were things about this movie that I thought were cheesy, were dumb, were over the top, were too goofy for me to enjoy. But I just didn't hate it. I even chuckled at some parts. I even laughed a couple of times. Huh? I know. Who am I turning into? Where's this hate? Why don't I hate this movie more than I already do? De Niro is in this film. He's not terrible, I guess. You know, he's just being De Niro. He's being your typical kind of like, hey. But I guess I was surprised, too, that he wasn't an asshole grandpa, that he could have been really angry or really bitter, or he could have been treating the kids like crap because he doesn't want to be in this house. But no, he was respectable. He did everything the right way. It was more so the grandson, Peter, played by Oaks Fegley, whatever the Fegley this kid's name was. He was horrible. Not acting wise. I mean, he was a horrible character, a horrible person to his grandfather. Some of the pranks that he pulls on him, and how I swear his main goal wasn't to run him away and scare him away. No, it was to give this dude a heart attack and kill him to get rid of him. Some of these pranks and what he does, and oh man, I felt bad for De Niro. And every time De Niro tried to be the adult, he tried to come to him and say, hey, look, we can't do this. Or one time where he takes him out fishing or tries to bond with him, the kid still comes back for more. What are we doing? F Peter. You don't deserve this room. What are you complaining about? You have the attic. That's pretty sweet. I would like a situation like that if I was at that age, to have my own space. All the stuff that he has up there, his own computer, his own, like, give me a effing break, Peter. What are you complaining about? Some of the other actors, let's talk about. We have Christopher Walken as Jerry. He plays De Niro, as one of De Niro's friends. So yeah, Christopher Walken's older now, for sure. But it was still nice to see him in a movie, you know, being comical and doing things that I found pretty entertaining. Jane Seymour is a potential love interest for De Niro, so hey, I mean, he's not doing all that bad if that's the case. Rob Riggle plays the father, but let's talk about Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman plays the mother. She's De Niro's daughter. And Uma Thurman, I like as an actress, and she's not bad in this movie at all. But for one, I barely recognized her in this movie. I mean, I was looking at her and thinking she looked familiar, but I had to look it up to say, holy crap, that's Uma Thurman? She doesn't look bad, she just looked different. I just barely recognized her. That's one thing. And two, why is she doing a role like this? Or why is she in this movie? De Niro, like, yeah, it's sad and it hurts a little bit to see De Niro in this, but he's in his late 70s. So how many great roles are you going to see going around? If he's just a guy who wants to work, constantly work, he is going to have to take some roles like this, or maybe even some shit roles, unfortunately, especially if he doesn't care. But Uma Thurman, I don't know, I just feel like she's much better than this type of role. She committed to some of the goofy scenes and some of the over-the-top scenes, so I give her that. And you know, like I said, she wasn't bad. I just couldn't wrap my head around the fact that she was in this movie. But look, other than the kid being super annoying, other than him me wanting to just choke the life out of him as if I was Homer Simpson and he was Bart, I still I want to say I had a great time or really enjoyed it. I will just say that this is a very decent time waster. This is a movie that if you're just grasping at straws for something to watch, or if you're with kids and you're looking for something for them to see that's more recent, that's not animated, that's not too silly, at least in that way, this is PG. So there's enough here for, I think, you to get some satisfaction in, for the kids to enjoy. I guess that's the highest compliment I can give this film, if you want to call it that. Yeah, guys, alright, so let me know in the comments below if you too have seen The War with Grandpa. Can you believe that I gave it a halfway decent review? Were you expecting a huge rant? I know I was. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
Heat in my vein like vernacular. Cook up the beat with a spatula. Y'all are not ready for action. I'm smoking these rappers and feeling spectacular. Making a killing like massacre. Watch out, I'm whipping my wrist. Right on my city, been pissed, but I show them love. I'm not the one that's at risk. My homie told me that when people rise up against you, it's the sign of your destiny real. Fake ones been hating cause they know that one day you're making it. Jealousy's all they can feel. Plugging the full, drifting my zone, painting